In this video, we're going to show how you can use Proposal Kit to write instruction manuals and handbooks. Now, normally, Proposal Kit is used to create business proposals, business plans, but it can actually create any complex Word document where you're generally going to have some kind of front and back cover, a table of contents, and then a set of body pages, which is pretty much what a report or handbook or manual might look like. So we're going to illustrate this with our business number 20 design theme. Now note we have hundreds and hundreds of design themes, so whichever one or ones you've purchased will be your design themes that you can select in the Wizard software and that all of your created documents will look like. So whenever we're going to create a document in the Wizard, in this case a handbook or instruction manual, we'll click the Document Projects button, same as if you're going to create a proposal, Add New Project, just give it a title, and we'll click the Pick Documents button. This is where we can select all the pages that will make up the document we're going to create. So like most documents, a title page, table of contents, back page will be our most common chapters we'll start with. And the body pages are going to be just whatever pages we need to make up that manual or handbook. So we'll just check off a title page, table of contents, back page, and then we can decide what body pages we want in this manual. You know, we have access to a couple thousand chapters, so we can add an introduction. So if this is a technical manual, you know, we can add chapters from the technical category. So let's say we're writing a manual for a product. We might start adding some pages to talk about the product itself, capabilities, features. Maybe how they can be customized. Some installation and safety related information. So we'll add the installing chapter. And a frequently asked questions. That's a common type of topic. Okay, now we can add a frequently asked questions page. And you know, you'll see we have a set of 10 chapters for this instruction manual. And we'll move the products up to the top. And you can see now that we've got our introduction, our products page, features page, an installation page, a customization page, safety information, frequently asked questions page. And with thousands of chapter templates available, you can customize a handbook or manual in countless different ways. Once we've finished selecting all of our chapters, we just save the project and the Wizard will build us this document. Okay, this document has been generated. We'll open it up, take a look at it. And you can see the front title page graphic that we set in the Wizard to say manual has been changed to manual. And you can see the list of chapters we selected. And this manual is ready to finish filling in with your information. And you can just save it as a PDF or print it and whatever you need to do with it. Now notice this will not be our information in the documents that you create. This is merged in from the client and company data screens that you'll fill in. So whatever information you type into the wizard for your company name, phone numbers, and so on, website address, will get put into the document. And this is all editable text that you can change at any time after the document's been created by the wizard. Now we'll illustrate another type of manual or handbook, and we're going to use our pest control design theme. This instruction manual is actually one of the examples that's included. Now note that we just happen to have all of our design themes loaded into our software here for demo purposes. Whichever one or more that you've purchased will be selectable from these lists. So we'll select a pest control design theme. And we'll create a new project. And we're going to select the pest control information packet from the list of quick start examples, layouts. Now this layout also has actual sample content written for it. So when we create this manual, we're going to pull in that sample content as well. And you'll see this has just a different set of chapters in the body pages. And this example was created for a pest control company that after they've come into a client's home or business and they've done their work, they leave behind an information packet, and they create that information packet using the same proposal pack that they also create their client proposals with. That way all of their documents they give out all look the same. Now again, company data and client data, this is going to be your information. And client data isn't really going to get used so much in a handbook or manual, since you're writing a general purpose document versus say a proposal or contract that's going to a specific person. So the client data isn't really that relevant. Now I'll create this information packet. All right, now this document's been generated. And as you can see, this has the pest control graphic design theme and the text of the information packet. And we'll do one last illustration. We'll do an employee handbook. And we're going to illustrate this with a contract pack document that's part of the Proposal Kit Professional. Now, if you just want to do a general purpose employee handbook, you can still create that in the novice edition of the proposal packs. You'll just have to supply your own text for the employee handbook material. But we'll change our design theme again. We'll just go with a general purpose classic design. And once again, we'll add a new project. pick a title page, back page. We'll do the contract and terms, because that is how we're going to get a contract from the contract pack into the document. And with the professional version, there's hundreds of pre-written contract and employee type documents you can select from. If we get down into the HR category here, we can select the Human Resources Guide. And we are going to insert the HR guide into the document we're creating. And we'll just add an introduction chapter, because that's the one I think we're going to use for the overall title page graphic. So you can see here we have a small set of chapters. Now the HR guide is going to be a longer document. It's not just going to be a one-page template, but it's going to get inserted into the contract and terms chapter, since they were pulling it in from a contract pack. But we're going to change the overall chapter header to use the introduction chapter header, not the contract and terms chapter header. And that's just going to be some word processing. So now we have all of the chapters selected. We'll change the title page graphic. We'll change that to Handbook. Okay, now this document has been generated. And you can see we've got the classic 18 design theme with the front title page graphic changed to Handbook. The introduction chapter and contract and terms. Now, since an HR guide isn't a contract, we're just going to skip contract and terms chapter header, and we'll leave the introduction page up here. You can just fill this in, or you can delete all this text, or we can just delete this page completely and just go straight to the HR text. So this is just a Word document now, completely up to you to edit it however you like. And you can see it's pulled in all of the text of the Proposal Kit Professionals Employee Handbook document, which is a 15-page document, and ended with the back page. And whatever information you type in, again, from the company data screen will get put in here, your URLs and so on. So that is another example of how you can use the professional with pre-written content from our professional library for an employee handbook manual, having it put into the design theme of your choice that you purchased. So that is how you use Proposal Kit to create handbooks, manuals, and other Word documents. It's not just for proposals and contracts. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.